Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I am back with a very long overdue melted video. This was from my Carnival Scents week that I did, or it was actually more like 10 days. And it's very overdue. Let's just put it that way. I was supposed to film this and get it up last weekend. Anybody who saw my Instagram knows that my oldest daughter was actually hit by a car on her bike on the way home from school on Wednesday, like 10 days ago. Now, she actually wasn't hurt that bad at all, and she's fully recovered at this point, except for just a little bit of bruising. But at the time, obviously, the ambulance came. They took her to the ER. I had to go. They watched her for observation. And then I had to take a little extra care of her the end of last week and last weekend. So I didn't get to do any filming or anything whatsoever. So I'm way, way behind. I'm now over a week into melting fall stuff, so there will probably be another melted video that goes up this weekend if I can get the time to film it. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and go over the Carnival Scents. Carnival Scents is one of my favorite weeks. I do it every year. I've kind of made it a little bit of a tradition for myself. It's a really good transition from summer scents into fall scents. You get a lot of like half and half type of scents. You know, caramel apple, a lot of cotton candy, a lot of saltwater taffy, sweeter scents, more gourmand scents, and I really, really like that as a transition from summer scents into fall scents. So I do it every year. So got a pretty decent sized basket of empties here, and I'm gonna go ahead and dive into it. So one of the first things that I melted was from Pixie Toad Waxworks. These were the unicorn macarons, wild berry mousse, and bubblegum is the scent. Now, this was a very interesting experience that I had with this because I had originally given my oldest daughter one of these, and this was a couple of weeks ago. She melted it in her bedroom, and it really threw like a boss. Now, she didn't particularly care for the scent. She did say it was a little sweet, and wild berry mousse and bubblegum together, I can see that. Very, very sweet scent. Now, I tend to like those types of scents. I smelled it when it was in her room, and I wasn't offended by it at all. I thought it was good. It had a nice, strong throw. So I had 3 more of them. I melted one in my bedroom, and I got next to no throw at all, which is really strange because both she and I have bulb warmers in our bedrooms, and they both have 25-watt bulbs. So it's like the exact same composition, the exact same warmer, the exact same wattage. I didn't get very much throw at all when it was in my room. So I took the last 2 the next morning and put them in Glade warmers, and I got a better throw from the Glade warmers than I did in my bedroom, but still not as strong as what my daughter got in her room. Now, the scent was very, very sweet, almost sickeningly sweet. I don't know that I would purchase this particular scent again. Honestly, I don't know that I will purchase from this vendor again based on a lot of drama that has been going down, that if you are in Facebook groups regarding wax, you probably are aware of. I'm not going to say I definitely wouldn't ever again, but they definitely need to work out some kinks in their business prior to me thinking of placing an order again. That being said, the wax that I have melted has performed. So ultimately, if what you're interested in is, does the wax throw? Yes, the wax does throw. This particular scent, I wasn't that crazy about. Next, I melted Atlantic City by Vintage Chic Scents. I did melt quite a bit of Vintage Chic Scents this week because I melted a good portion of the Carnival sampler from the Vintage Carnival restock earlier this year. Atlantic City is strawberry, peach, and taffy. Now, this one could have used a longer cure time. Even though it was almost 6 months, it was 5 months when I melted it. I only got about a 5 to a 6 out of 10 throw from this. Oh, the Pixie Toad, it really varied. In my daughter's room, it was a 9. In my room, it was about a 4. And in the Glades, it was about a 7. So that's the number on the Pixie and Toad. This one was between a 5 and a 6. I did struggle with smelling this one. The peach was definitely the strongest note in this when it was warming, and peach is not my favorite thing in wax. I don't think I would purchase this probably ever, just because of the scent preference. If it came in a sampler again, I definitely melt it or gift it to somebody that I know loves it. But this was not my favorite scent that I melted. I also melted Blackberry Cotton Candy Frosting from Scoopable Tart Wax. I melted this in my bedroom. This one I also struggled with. And this is probably a good 5 to 6 months old, so I don't think it's a curing thing. I'm going to try it in another warmer that's not my bedroom warmer, because I did struggle with this one a little bit. And this is really rare for Scoopable Tart Wax. Normally her stuff is super, super strong, and you know, one of the better performing vendors in my house. And Scoopable Wax normally works in no matter what warmer I put it in. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on with this one. I'm going to give this a 6, which is pretty rare for this particular company. I'm definitely going to try it again, though, because I love it on cold. I mean, you cannot go wrong with Blackberry and Cotton Candy Frosting. You just can't. So I'm gonna try that one again for sure, because it's a scent that I would love to be able to say that I would repurchase. But with the performance that I had based off the one time that I melted it, I wouldn't repurchase it. So got to try that one again. Next, I melted Vintage Circus from the Bathing Garden. These were super cute little caramel apples. I had 2 of them. Cut them in half, melted them all over the house. This was so strong. One of the strongest things I melted all week long. 10 out of 10. The scent is extremely reminiscent of Winter Candy Apple from Bath & Body Works. Like almost identical to Winter Candy Apple from Bath & Body Works, which I've actually never melted before. I've never had it in a candle. It's the one holiday scent that I don't gravitate to for whatever reason. I think I've had it in hand soap, and that's pretty much it. But I really liked this. And it's completely changed my mind on Winter Candy Apple. And I will totally repurchase this particular scent. One of my favorite things I melted all week, Vintage Circus from the Bathing Garden. Spectacular. I melted Carnival Cakes from Lasting Scent Candles, and I believe I have another one of these somewhere. Yeah, so I melted this. I had 2 of these scent shots, cut each one in half, melted them all over the house in my glades and my candle air. So this is a, like a white cake and cotton candy and buttercream frosting type of scent. So this one performed fairly well, about a 7. I also have this in a room spray, and I like it much, much better in the room spray. The scent is stronger in the room spray. It lingers better. I do like this scent in wax, but Lasting Scent Candles has scents that perform better for me in wax form, so I probably wouldn't purchase this again. I did enjoy it, just not quite strong enough to make it worth purchasing it again. But it's a good scent. I would totally buy it again in room spray. I melted Circus Concession from BZ Tarts. I think I have another one of those in there too. This was another one where I had 2 scent shots, cut them both in half, melted them throughout the house. This is super, super strong. Super, super strong. And BZ's Circus Concession is a little bit different than everybody else's Circus Concession. So Circus Concession generally smells like caramel apple, cotton candy, funnel cake, some companies add like blue raspberry icy. Some companies eliminate the cotton candy. Some companies eliminate the caramel apple. But they're all kind of the same idea. The closest thing, if you're not familiar with wax, as far as like vendor wax, the closest thing that I can describe it to is Summer Boardwalk by Bath & Body Works. These are all very, very close to Summer Boardwalk from Bath & Body Works. This is a little bit different than everybody else's. I think he might add, I feel like I smelled pink sugar. Even though the scent description doesn't say there's pink sugar in this, and there may not be, but I felt like it was coming off very pink sugary for me. That being said, this is one of the best Circus Concession scents that I personally have tried. One of the strongest, 10 out of 10 throw, would absolutely repurchase it, but it does smell just a little bit different from all the other Circus Concessions that I've ever melted. I melted Nuckys Boardwalk by Vintage Chic Scents. This is another one that is a Circus Concession type. However, this one was much, much stronger on the apple. Like I smelled a lot more of the fresh apple and like a candied apple and a cotton candy scent in this one. It wasn't as gourmand and sweet as the Beezy Tarts one. This one was more of a apple and cotton candy scent. I really liked this. This was really, really good. I would absolutely repurchase this one. This one was a 9 out of 10, so it threw extremely well. This was a big rose. I cut it up, melted it all over the house, and considering it had less than 6 months cure time, I really couldn't ask for more from this one. Absolutely love this. Would totally get it again. This is the other Circus Concession, so I won't go over that one again. I melted Clowning Around by the Bathing Garden. This is the very first thing that I melted when I started Circus Week. This one is another one that is really, really strong gourmand. You really get a lot of caramel out of this one. I don't remember the exact scent notes, but it is another one that's kind of like Circus Concession. There is definitely a like caramel apple or a popcorn, like a caramel popcorn scent to it. Very, very sweet. I loved this, and my kids loved this. This one was another really strong performer. 9 out of 10. Done extremely well. So this is yet another one from the Bathing Garden that I would absolutely repurchase the next time she does her circus scents. Love this. Here's the other Vintage Circus. I melted Taffy Pops, Saltwater Taffy, Blackberry Fizz, and Sprinkles. This is also from Pixie Toad Waxworks. I melted this on Eclipse Day. So I think it was just like, I don't remember. All the days are running together. I don't remember exactly when the eclipse was, but this was just about a month old on Eclipse Day. And I melted this. These were 6 little popsicles. And I basically melted them in every warmer in the house, including the bedrooms. And completely overwhelmed my entire house with this fragrance. This was spectacular. This was like an 11 out of 10 throw. There was so much going on, and it threw for such a long time. I mean, this was definitely more Saltwater Taffy than Fizz, but you could really get all the notes. The Saltwater Taffy and the Blackberry and the Fizz. It was so, so good. This would actually be one of the first things that I would go in for if I were to purchase from this vendor again, because this was amazing. I melted Kokomo by Rose Girls. This is Saltwater Taffy Ice Cream and Rainbow Sherbet. So this is just a creamy, extra fruity saltwater taffy scent. I absolutely love this one. I hauled 2 bags of mini melters of this when she had it again in the limited edition summer mini melters. Oh, this is so good. And it performs pretty well. I mean, some Rose Girls really blows you out of the water. This is not one of them, but this one is a solid 8 out of 10. It was a muffin, so I was able to divide it up in 3 pieces and melt it in my 3 main warmers, my 2 glades that I have going on right now, and my Candelaire. This was the second muffin that I've had. The first one that I melted, I believe I did during Rose Girls Week, so like back in April. But I really love the scent. Obviously, I repurchased because I bought it again in mini melters. Not the very strongest scent out there, but it's nice. It's really nice. It's not overwhelming, and it's nice and fruity and candy-ish, which I love. So that is a good one. I also melted her other saltwater taffy scent, which is Raspberry Coconut Saltwater Taffy. I melted this in my bedroom. Now this one to me is more straight saltwater taffy. Her Raspberry Coconut, in my opinion, it's not that strong of a note. I've had a lot of blends with, well, okay, not a lot, but like 3 or 4 blends with Raspberry Coconut in them. And generally, at least to my nose, whatever is blended with the Raspberry Coconut completely overtakes it. So the Raspberry Coconut just kind of falls into the background, and whatever it's blended with is generally what I smell. So this is pretty much straight up saltwater taffy. I think I said during my, whenever it was that I melted this before, that it wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be. So I was going to go ahead and let the rest of it cure. This throw did improve on this from that first time. I'm going to put this at a 7 out of 10. I want it stronger. So this is sitting, these last 3, of course this chunk is huge so I can cut it. But this last little bit here is going to sit and do absolutely nothing but marinate until next summer. And then I'll bust it out again. Because I love the scent. I want it stronger. I melted Roasted Cotton Candy by the Posh Olive. This is marshmallow fireside and cotton candy. This I melted in my bedroom, and I liked it so much that I woke up the next morning, replaced the 2 cubes that I had in my bedroom with another 2 cubes, and went ahead and melted the last 2 cubes in my bathroom. So really, really enjoyed this one. I love marshmallow fireside. I love marshmallow fireside so much. And this one just had a little extra kick of sweetness from the cotton candy. Is it the strongest scent that Margaret has? Absolutely not. 7 out of 10. However, it's a beautiful scent. And if you love marshmallow fireside blends, definitely look into this one. I'm going to be looking forward to getting some more of this when she does her pre-order in October. So I hope that she has this one available because I want more of it. Loved it. I melted World's Fair of 1939 by, again, Vintage Chic Scents. This is a caramel popcorn scent. I believe like a salted caramel popcorn scent, if I am correct. Yes. Yes. I love this. I know that like popcorn scents are not something that are popular at all. I know that they are, in fact, kind of polarizing. A lot of people just hate them. I love a good popcorn scent, especially when you can get the salt and the butter and you can pick out all the different facets of the fragrance, and then you've got the caramel added to it as well. Very realistic. Literally smelled like Cracker Jacks or whatever. It was so good. Threw it a 9 out of 10, and I absolutely would repurchase this one in a heartbeat. Happy Camper by Zate Bath. This was toasted marshmallow and vanilla waffle cones. This did not have any, well, it didn't have much of a smoky campfire scent. This was mainly just sweet. It was yummy, yummy marshmallow fluff and waffle cone. It is absolutely something I would purchase again. I really enjoyed this. This I melted very, very early on in my Carnival melt, so it's been almost a month at this point. I don't remember every single thing about this except that I really liked it and would totally purchase it again if she offered it, and that it was a really cute, like it literally looked like graham crackers covered in like chocolate. That's what the melt looked like. It was super adorable. So I remember all of that. I remember that I enjoyed it. I think it had an 8 out of 10 throw, so not the strongest scent ever, but it was delicious, and I would totally repurchase it. I melted Summer Bonfire by Lasting Scent Candles. This is a pink sugar and marshmallow fireside scent. Yes, yes, yes. I think this is probably my ultimate favorite thing that I melted all week, the whole basket. This was so freaking good. Oh my gosh, so strong. It was such a good marshmallow fireside blend, and then it had the pink sugar added to it, which just adds a little extra something special. And not only would I repurchase this again, but I totally need a loaf of it. So I hope that the owner, Pam, eventually lets us like do loaves. Like we have, she's had loaves available a couple of times before, or like brittle bags or something where I can get this in a bigger quantity. I loved this so much. As far as the strength, this one was a 10 out of 10. This right here is a perfect reason why I love and keep purchasing from Lasting Scent Candles. Because even though not all of her stuff is going to be a 10 out of 10 standout favorite thing I melted all week, when I find that, it's so worth it. And this one is one that I definitely need more of. Candy Carousel by the Bathing Garden. I melted this one in my bedroom. This is another one that was super early on, so I don't know if I remember this. So this one smells like another one that kind of smells like caramel apple, but also lollipops. And I don't remember the scent notes to this at all, and I apologize. I do remember it performed exceedingly well. Another 10 out of 10. Another one that I probably would buy if I had the opportunity to do so, you know, if and when she does Carnival Scents again. I would definitely buy this one, Candy Carousel. I like that one a lot. Let's see what else I have. Southbound Soap Company Saltwater Taffy. This is strawberry, raspberry, banana, Bing cherry, wild berry, and sugar, all wrapped up into a creamy vanilla. This is just her pure saltwater taffy scent. This one is from over a year ago. I think it was exactly a year old the day that I melted it. I do have a large bakery bag full of it that I ordered earlier this year. I wanted to go ahead and melt this last little piece before it started to lose its scent. This is one of my favorite saltwater taffy scents, probably my favorite like pure saltwater taffy scent, not blended with anything else. It's so fruity. It's so it's just pure saltwater taffy. I mean, this is the scent that made me fall in love with saltwater taffy. Like even before I became obsessed with the whole saltwater taffy and cotton candy blend, this is what made me fall in love with saltwater taffy when I first tried it probably 3 years ago. Spectacular. Will always be a repurchase. Always throws at a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 no matter where I put it. Love this one. The other one I melted from Southbound Soap Company is Carnival Time. This is sweet cotton candy, caramel apples, blue raspberry snow cones, and fresh funnel cake. I think this one will always be my ultimate favorite of the Circus Concession quote-unquote types, and that is because She adds the blue raspberry snow cone, which really adds a little something extra. Like, you get the caramel apple, you get the funnel cake, you get all of that sweetness, and then there's like this little splash of a fruity snow cone scent. It's so neat. I absolutely love this. This one throws at like a 12 out of 10. Every single time, no matter what warmer I put it in, I absolutely love this scent. And this is like the first, I believe this is the first Southbound Soap Company scent I ever tried. And I didn't order it. I got it in a sample with my first order. Oh, so good. We'll always repurchase this one. Always, always, always. So that's it for the basket. I have a couple more that I didn't have packaging for or I didn't bring out. I melted County Fair by the Glitterati Candle Company. County Fair is another one that's kind of like Circus Concession. You know, it's her version of it. The one thing that is really different between hers and everybody else's is hers takes out the caramel apple. So you've got funnel cake, you've got ice cream, you've got cotton candy, and like probably another couple little things in there, but you don't have the caramel apple. So it takes like that idea of all the carnival foods and just pushes it in a little bit of a different direction. And I happen to love that. It's definitely one that if I ever were to make it on her customs list, I would get a truckload of that. Love, love, love Glitterati County Fair. I also melted Lasting Scent Candles Spun Sugar Apples, which is a candy apple scent. Not a caramel apple, but like candied apple and then spun sugar. I love that one. That is the one loaf from her that I do have, and it's actually almost gone. It's not the strongest thrower. It is about a 7 out of 10, but it's such a nice scent to have hanging around in the background. It's one of the few non-fresh scents that I would happily put on for company to come over because it just makes the atmosphere smell really good, if that makes any sense. And then the last one is Midway Treats by Vintage Chic Scents, which is the scent that I created for the scent contest. That one is cotton candy, frosting, saltwater taffy, and marshmallow fluff. I really love that scent. I mean, I'm maybe a little biased, but I really, really love that scent. It's hard for me to assign a number to it because it's my baby. Is it Vintage Chic Scent's strongest scent? No. Is it strong enough that I can confidently give it an 8 to 9? Yes. And the reason that I say that is because my daughter actually melted some like the day that I got it. And you guys know how much I like to cure my Vintage Chic Scents. She melted some the day that I got it and I could smell it. So I'm not saying that that like would never happen with any other Vintage Chic scent, but I can confidently melt that one and feel like it doesn't need that much cure time. So it's a strong scent. I don't know what that thing's going to do when it's a year old because it was strong the day that we got it. So 8 to 9, obviously I'd repurchase that one. So that is it for Carnival scents. As I said before, I do have another week that I need to review of my fall scents because I've started on this huge fall melting basket and I'm already over a weekend, so I do need to get on that, but that's for a different video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one and I will see you in the next one. Bye.